What is the oldest structure ever built by human hands? Imagine constructing massive stone buildings without metal tools, wheels, or written plans. These ancient buildings survived floods, earthquakes, and empires, while entire civilizations disappeared. Stay with us as we count down the 10 oldest buildings on Earth and the stories carved into their walls. We begins in the sun-drenched landscape of modern-day Luxor, Egypt. Here, on the east bank of the River Nile, stands the Karnak Temple complex. Construction began around 2055 BCE during the Middle Kingdom of ancient Egypt and continued until approximately 30 BCE under Roman rule. While older prehistoric structures exist elsewhere, Karnak is among the oldest large stone temple complexes still standing, representing a continuous architectural and religious tradition unmatched in scale. The complex was primarily dedicated to Amun-Ra, the chief god of the Egyptian pantheon during the New Kingdom. It covers over 200 acres, making it the largest religious building complex ever constructed. Rather than being built by one ruler, Karnak reflects the ambitions of more than 30 pharaohs. Each ruler added pylons, obelisks, statues, sanctuaries and courtyards, transforming Karnak into a layered record of Egyptian history carved in stone. The most famous section of Karnak is the Great Hypostyle Hall, constructed around 1290 to 1224 BCE. It contains 134 massive columns and stone blocks weighing up to 70 tons. This hall remains one of the most awe-inspiring interior spaces ever built in the ancient world. For ancient Egyptians, Karnak was not merely a temple. It was a cosmic center of creation. The site was believed to sit at the place where the world began, and its design symbolized the journey from chaos to order. Located in the ancient city of Jericho in the West Bank, the Tower of Jericho is one of the most remarkable structures ever discovered by archaeologists. Dating back to around 8000 BCE, it is widely regarded as the oldest known stone tower in the world and one of the earliest monumental buildings constructed by humankind. The tower was built during the pre-pottery Neolithic period, a time when humans were transitioning from nomadic hunter-gatherer lifestyles to permanent agricultural settlements. This makes the tower over 10,000 years old, predating the Egyptian pyramids by more than 5,000 years. Its existence challenges the long-held belief that complex architecture emerged only after advanced societies developed. The tower is a massive cylindrical stone structure with approximately 8.5 meters or 28 feet height and about 9 meters or 30 feet diameter. Inside is a steep internal staircase made of stone, one of the earliest known staircases in human history. The original purpose of the Tower of Jericho remains debated among scholars. Leading theories include defensive structure to protect early inhabitants, flood control system against seasonal water flows, and ceremonial or astronomical monument, possibly aligned with the setting sun during solstices. Its construction required advanced planning, engineering knowledge, and cooperation, qualities once thought impossible for early Neolithic communities. Its builders had no metal tools, no written language, and limited technology, yet they created a structure that has survived for millennia. We travel now to the fertile plains of the Indus River Valley in modern-day Pakistan. Here lie the ruins of Mohenjo-daro. Dating back to around 2500 BCE, it was a major city of the Indus Valley civilization, making it one of the oldest large urban settlements and building complexes in the world. The city flourished during the mature Harappan period between 2600 and 1900 BCE. At its height, the city may have housed 40 to 50,000 inhabitants, placing it among the largest cities of the ancient world, contemporary with ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. Mohenjo-daro is renowned for its remarkably modern city layout. It was built on a grid system with streets running at right angles, an approach rarely seen elsewhere in the ancient world. One of the most extraordinary achievements is its advanced water and sanitation system, unmatched in the ancient world for thousands of years. The most famous structure is the Great Bath, a large waterproof pool believed to have been used for ritual or ceremonial purposes, one of the earliest known public water facilities in history. Unlike other ancient civilizations, Mohenjo-daro shows no large palaces, no obvious royal tombs, and no monumental temples like pyramids or ziggurats. This suggests a society that may have been relatively egalitarian, governed by civic or religious authorities rather than powerful kings. Around 1900 BCE, Mohenjo-daro was gradually abandoned. The reasons remain debated, but may include climate change and shifting river patterns, flooding from the Indus River, economic decline, or social or political changes. There is no strong evidence of violent destruction or invasion. Our journey brings us next to the windswept Salisbury Plain in southern England. Here, under a vast and often dramatic sky, stand the iconic monoliths of Stonehenge. Construction of Stonehenge began around 3000 BCE during the late Neolithic period. Early phases consisted of earthworks and wooden structures. The iconic stone circles were erected later, primarily between 2600 BCE and 2000 BCE, during the transition to the Bronze Age. Stonehenge is composed of two main types of stone: sarsen stones, weighing up to 25 tons, sourced from nearby Marlborough Downs, and bluestones, transported from the Preseli Hills in Wales over 240 kilometres or 150 miles away. The effort required to transport and erect these massive stones without metal tools or wheeled vehicles demonstrates extraordinary engineering skill and social organisation. The stones were shaped with precision and assembled using mortise and tenon joints, a technique more commonly associated with woodworking. One of Stonehenge's most remarkable features is its alignment with the sun. The monument aligns with the summer solstice sunrise and winter solstice sunset. These alignments suggest that it functioned as a ceremonial or ritual site connected to seasonal cycles, agriculture, and cosmology. Rather than serving a single function, Stonehenge likely held multiple meanings over generations. We travel east to Armenia, to a dramatic cliffside overlooking the Azat River Gorge. Here stands the Garni Temple, a breathtaking Greco-Roman site in the Caucasus. It was built around 77 CE during the reign of King Tiridates I of Armenia, who had close ties with the Roman Empire. The temple was dedicated to Mithra, the Armenian god of the sun, light and justice. Garni is a classical Hellenistic-style peripteral temple, closely resembling Roman temples found in Italy and Asia Minor. Key architectural features include 24 Ionic columns surrounding the structure, built from precisely cut basalt stone, a raised podium accessed by a wide staircase, and symmetrical proportions following classical geometry. Unlike many pagan temples, Garni survived largely intact after Armenia adopted Christianity in 301 CE, possibly because it was used as a royal summer residence rather than destroyed. In 1679, a powerful earthquake caused the temple to collapse. Remarkably, the fallen stones remained at the site, allowing for an accurate reconstruction. Between 1969 and 1975, Garni Temple was fully restored using its original stones, making it one of the most faithful restorations of an ancient monument ever completed. We now journey to the remote and windswept Orkney Islands off the northern coast of Scotland. Here is located one of the most remarkable prehistoric sites in existence, Skara Brae. Dating back to around 3180 to 2500 BCE, this Neolithic village is over 5,000 years old and is considered one of the oldest and best preserved stone settlements in the world. Often referred to as the Pompeii of the Neolithic age, it offers an unparalleled glimpse into everyday life thousands of years before written history. Skara Brae was discovered in 1850 when a powerful storm stripped away sand dunes that had preserved the settlement for millennia. Archaeological excavation revealed a cluster of stone-built houses remarkably intact, complete with furniture and domestic features. The settlement consists of 8 interconnected stone houses, built using local stone and set into the ground for insulation against Orkney's harsh climate. The houses were likely roofed with organic materials such as turf or thatch, which have not survived but were well suited to the environment. It was home to a farming and fishing community. The presence of identical furniture layouts in each house suggests a socially egalitarian society with little evidence of hierarchy or wealth disparity. For its time, the settlement offered surprisingly advanced living conditions, efficient insulation and drainage, organized communal layout, and clear separation of domestic spaces. These features make Skara Brae one of the earliest examples of planned residential architecture. Our trip now takes us to the sunny Greek island of Crete, just south of the modern city of Heraklion. Here lie one of the oldest large building complexes in the world, the Palace of Knossos. This was the vibrant centre of the Minoan civilization, which flourished in the Bronze Age. The first palace on this site was constructed around 1950 BCE, making its foundations nearly 4,000 years old. The vast, labyrinthine structure we see the remains of today was built after an earthquake destroyed the original, and it reached its peak around 1700 BCE. Knossos was not just a royal residence, it was a city in itself, an administrative, religious and economic hub. The scale and complexity of Knossos are breathtaking. The palace covered an area of over 20,000 square meters and may have risen to 5 stories in some sections. It was built around a huge central courtyard and consisted of an estimated 1,300 rooms, all connected by a confusing maze of corridors and staircases. This labyrinthine layout is likely the origin of the Greek myth of the Minotaur and the labyrinth of King Minos. The palace featured advanced architectural elements for its time, including light wells to illuminate lower floors, and a sophisticated water management system with terracotta pipes for sanitation and drainage, rivaling that of Mohenjo-daro. Knossos was the heart of a powerful maritime trading empire. The palace's state of preservation is due in large part to the controversial work of the British archaeologist Sir Arthur Evans, who excavated the site in the early 20th century. Evans not only unearthed the ruins, but also extensively reconstructed parts of the palace using reinforced concrete, painting them in bold colours based on his interpretation of the frescoes. While these reconstructions help visitors visualize the palace's former grandeur, they are highly debated by modern archaeologists. Now we are going back to Egypt, to the vast desert necropolis of Saqqara. Here, rising from the sand, is one of the most important architectural achievements in human history, the Step Pyramid of Djoser. Built around 2670 BCE, this monument is a revolutionary leap in architecture. The world's first large-scale stone building and the very first pyramid. Commissioned by Pharaoh Djoser and designed by his vizier Imhotep, the pyramid is a testament to a sudden and dramatic increase in royal power, technical skill, and ambition. At over 4,600 years old, it marks the start of the Egyptian obsession with building for eternity, an architectural tradition that would define their civilization. The pyramid didn't start as the grand structure we see today. It began as a simple, flat-roofed mastaba. Imhotep, in a stroke of genius, expanded that form. He built another, smaller mastaba on top of the first, and then another and another, until 6 tiers rose towards the sky, reaching over 60 meters or 200 feet. This created the distinctive stepped shape, a symbolic staircase for the pharaoh's soul to ascend to the heavens and join the immortal gods. The entire structure was once clad in polished white Tura limestone, gleaming under the Egyptian sun, a dazzling beacon of royal divinity. The step pyramid marks a monumental shift in construction. Before this, large Egyptian buildings were mainly mud brick and wood. Imhotep's stone design required organizing a massive workforce and new quarrying and transportation techniques on an unprecedented scale. It consumed enormous resources for one goal, guaranteeing the king's immortality. Its survival for over 4,600 years proves the success of that vision. We travel now to the rolling hills of southeastern Turkey. Here, under a protective modern roof, lies a site that has completely revolutionized our understanding of the Stone Age, Göbekli Tepe. The name means Potbelly Hill in Turkish, a simple name for a place of extraordinary complexity and antiquity. Dating back to around 9600 BCE, it is widely regarded as the oldest known monumental stone structure in the world, predating agriculture, pottery, metal tools, and written language. Göbekli Tepe consists of a series of large circular structures that were deliberately buried thousands of years ago. Within these circles stand massive T-shaped pillars of limestone, some weighing up to 20 tons and reaching over 5 meters or 16 feet in height. These monoliths are not crude, unfinished stones. They are finely carved with intricate reliefs of animals, snakes, wild boars, gazelles, and menacing scorpions. The purpose of Göbekli Tepe appears to be entirely ritualistic. Archaeologists have found no evidence of permanent settlement here, no houses, no hearths, no signs of domestic life. This was not a village. It was a sanctuary, a place of pilgrimage and ceremony for the hunter-gatherer groups who lived in the surrounding region. To quarry, transport, carve and erect these monumental pillars would have required a level of cooperation and social organization previously thought impossible for nomadic hunter-gatherer societies. The existence of such a massive, sophisticated ceremonial center forces us to rethink the very origins of civilization. The long-held theory was that agriculture came first, leading to settled villages, which then allowed for the development of complex religion and monumental architecture. Göbekli Tepe turns this idea on its head. Our journey through deep time culminates on the small Mediterranean island of Gozo, part of the Maltese archipelago. Here, on a sun-drenched plateau, stand the oldest freestanding buildings in the world, the Ġgantija Temples. Their name comes from the Maltese word for giant. Later, inhabitants believed they must have been built by a race of giants. Looking at the sheer size of the megaliths used in their construction, it is easy to see why. Radiocarbon dating confirms these temples were built between 3600 and 3200 BCE, making them over 5,600 years old. The Ġgantija complex consists of two separate temples side by side, enclosed by a single massive boundary wall. The southern temple is the larger and older of the two. Both structures share a similar plan, shaped like a clover leaf, with a series of semicircular apses or chambers connected by a central corridor. The walls are built from enormous rough-hewn blocks of coralline limestone. Some of the largest stones weigh over 50 tons. The purpose of Ġgantija was undoubtedly religious. Temples dedicated to a belief system that focused on fertility. Archaeologists have discovered numerous statuettes and figurines within the temples. Many depict full-figured females, suggesting worship of a mother goddess or a fertility cult. Despite the absence of metal tools or wheeled vehicles, the builders achieved remarkable precision and stability. At over 5,600 years old, the temples are among the earliest surviving stone structures built entirely by human hands.